In the night shift homo group chat. So we open in 30 minutes and I'm the only one here. I'm not working today. Then I wasn't talking to you. I was up late studying, I'll be there soon. I got blackout drunk last night and I still showed up on time, so forgive me for not accepting that excuse. Okay, well, not all of us are robots. Isn't Suna working today? I am, and I'm on my way. If you show up high, I'm kicking you out. So I just shouldn't come into work then. Do you smell? No, it was a dab pen, I'm not unprofessional. Where'd you put it? It should be under my pillow. Thanks. You guys are going to send me to an early grave. Sorry. I wonder what Suna is like when he isn't high. What do they call it when being high just makes you feel normal? An addiction? Seek help. No one is telling you to seek help for getting drunk on a Thursday night. We all have our vices. That's fair. A few minutes later, Iwazumi and Suna show up, and the workday finally starts. It's mostly uneventful, except for Suna attempting to grab a baking sheet out of the oven with his bare hands, Iwazumi having to rush over to stop him. The bell on top of the cafe entrance rings, and Akashi looks up to see who enters, his blood running cold. You shouldn't be here, I'm working. Akashi's tone didn't give away how nervous and angry he was, but the last thing he wanted to do was make a scene. You should really leave. You should really answer my fucking calls. You know, when I call you it's not optional. Akashi looked around the cafe, which was fairly busy. He was the only one of the workers at the front, so he couldn't leave. Akashi took a deep breath. I really can't talk right now, it's busy. And when can you talk, Kiji? Because when I call and text you don't answer. You know I don't like when you call me that. And I was asleep. Bullshit, you weren't. And I'm your boyfriend, I can call you whatever I want. He was starting to draw attention to himself now, and Akashi found himself having to suppress the anger bubbling in his gut. I bought you that fucking phone and you can't even be bothered to answer? I didn't ask you to get it for me. Why are you being so ungrateful? I'm asking for the bare minimum. I told you I was sleeping. And you were lying. I was no. Akashi could see eyes drifting over to them, giving Akashi looks of pity that just embarrassed him more. You have to leave. Not until you talk to me. A hand appeared on his shoulder, Bakuto flashing Akashi's boyfriend a polite smile. Hey man, if you're only here to harass the employees, I'm going to have to ask you to leave, now. The smile on Bakuto's face didn't reach his eyes, and his grip on the other man's shoulder looked anything but comforting. Whatever. He looked back at Akashi with venom in his eyes. We'll talk later. If I pick up. Don't be a smart ass. He stormed out of the store and Akashi let go of a breath he didn't know he was holding, it was like his whole body was relaxing. Who was that? When did you get here? You're not working today. I had to pick something up. Well, who was he? Unimportant. Bakuto walked to the other side of the counter, leaning against it and looking at Akashi like he was trying to read his mind. If he comes back and asks for you, what do you want me to do? If you know where I am, don't tell him. I can do that. Is that your boyfriend? Mind the business that pays you. Bakuto's lips quirk up slightly, before settling into a frown. Sorry. Akashi sighed, Bakuto's pout making him soften slightly. Thank you, for making him leave. Yeah, of course. Does he always talk to you like that? And you're in my business again. Get what you came here for and leave. Yeah, okay. Bakuto goes into the back kitchen and Akashi checks his messages. Had he really not replied to any of his messages last night? He opens his conversation with the bathroom guy, scrolling up to see what must have been dozens of messages he had exchanged with him last night. What are you doing right now? I'm with friends. Why? No reason, just bored. My boyfriend is such an asshole. He never leaves me alone, and he's always calling me and texting me and it sucks. Isn't that what boyfriends do? Is it? I think so. It's so overbearing. He never minds the business that pays him. Is that a common saying? Huh? Mind the business that pays you. I don't know, I forget where I heard it from. Well, with your boyfriend, if him even trying to talk to you bugs you, then maybe it's better if you're apart. Sometimes he's really nice to me. And he also bought my phone. And he takes me on vacation with him whenever he goes somewhere. Do you love him? Yeah. And he loves you? Why do people always ask me that? Because by the way you described him, it sounds like he doesn't, but I don't know enough about you or him, so. And I have work first thing tomorrow too. I feel like he's gonna show up. To do what? Guilt trip me? I don't think that's healthy. You're right. He forgot to pick me up from work again. Really? Yeah, he sucks. And I cried about it. He's done so much worse, and for some reason that made me cry. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a good relationship at all, bro. Yeah, it's not, but when he's nice to me I sort of forget how annoying he can be. Well, isn't that the point? He's just nice enough to justify how much of an asshole he can be sometimes. That's what people like that do. So I've heard. Yeah. Maybe I should dump him. Maybe you should. That's what I would do. You're right. You gave me advice, now I'll give you advice. Alright. There's this guy that I like, but I sort of think he hates me, and I don't really know why. Have you asked him if he hates you? Wouldn't that make him hate me more? Like if someone asked you that, wouldn't that just annoy you? If I dislike someone and they asking me, I would just tell them. And if he does hate me, then you're fresh out of luck. Kidding, if you didn't do anything horrible to him, you can make him unhate you. You think so? Definitely. Well, maybe I shouldn't use such a definitive word. But probably. First is getting him to unhate me, then getting him to like me, a lot of steps. That's only 2 steps. That sounds like something I would say. But you're right. Exactly, lem know how it goes. You too. Akashi felt his face flare up in embarrassment. He tended to talk a lot and overshare when he was especially drunk, a fact about himself he didn't like at all. At least the guy didn't know him. That would have been embarrassing.
僕とさん、ここはいわばセンターコートですよ。
I think the bathroom number is Akashi's. Kenma and I figured that out yesterday. Why didn't you tell us? We thought it would be funny. How did you find out? Last night he mentioned stuff about his boyfriend, like how he didn't pick him up from work, and I sort of just connected the dots. Also Akashi says, mind the business that pays you instead of, mind your business. Pop off Nacy Drew. What can I say?
Man knows trigonometry, ergonometry, geography, and everything to end with tree.
I don't think ergonometry is a word. I tried. You did. So now what? Huh? You still like Akashi, right? Yeah. Okay. So now what, do you tell him? Why would I do that? Okay. First I have to make him unhate me, then I have to make him like me. That sounds like a lot of work. It's only 2 things. When Akashi closes from work, he sees his boyfriend's car waiting for him. Akashi starts to panic. The last thing he wanted was to be alone in a closed space with him. Akashi ducked back into the store, seeing the only other person left his Bakuto, and swallows his pride. Is something wrong? Why didn't you leave after grabbing that thing you said you left? Bakuto shrugged. I took a nap in Haikyuu's office that ended up running long. What's wrong? Akashi points to the sleek sports car in the parking lot. I need to avoid that car. Is it the guy from before? Your boyfriend? Do you think you could make him leave again? Say I left work early or something. Bakuto nods, walking over to the car in the parking lot and knocking on the window. Akashi can't hear the exchange between the two, but after a few minutes, the car leaves the parking lot. Bakuto walks back over with his hands shoved into the pockets of his windbreaker. He just left, that easily? Yeah. And he apologized for earlier. Akashi scoffs. I'm sure he did. Bakuto juts his thumb towards his own car, one of those jeeps with the doors you can take off. It was the exact kind of car that Akashi thought Bakuto would drive. I can give you a ride home. I can just call an Uber. Why would you take an Uber when I'm right here? Yeah, okay. Bakuto's car was surprisingly clean, his volleyball bag thrown in the backseat. He had one of those Hawaiian ladies that shook her hips whenever the car moved. Akashi pushed the figure's hips and watched her sway, a tiny laugh coming out of his mouth. You would have a Hawaiian lady on the dashboard of your Jeep Wrangler. Bakuto started the car but didn't move. What's that supposed to mean? Don't make fun of Aka-chan. Akashi found himself smiling slightly. Bakuto would be the type to name the Hawaiian lady on his dashboard. I'm not making fun of her. Then what's so funny? Akashi shook his head. Nothing, it's just, very you. Kyoru and I bought them at a gas station in the middle of nowhere, he has the other one. Like couples rings. Bakuto thought for a second before nodding in agreement. Exactly, but like, platonically closer to friendship bracelets. Bakuto reversed out of the parking space, his arms reaching behind Akashi's seat so he could look behind him. Akashi looked away in embarrassment, it felt like he wasn't supposed to be looking. I'm hungry. Are you? A little. Do you like McDonald's? I like their fries. They're super good with an Oreo McFlurry. Sorry about that. You know I'm not evil. If you have a valid reason for always being late I wouldn't be so hard on you. Then it's like you're pitying me. Akashi frowned, he wasn't the nosy type usually, but now he really wanted to know. Do I seem like the type to do that? I just don't want you knowing all my baggage. I know we're not super close or anything so. That's not it. Bokto focuses on the Hawaiian woman on the dashboard, his face uncharacteristically serious. I have another older sister. It's a lot of big words I don't understand but she has cancer basically. Bakuto looks down at his lap. She recently signed a DNR, so if she codes again they won't. Bakuto takes a deep and shaky breath. Anyways, at this point, they're just making her comfortable, she doesn't have much longer left. And visiting hours are really, I try to visit every day. And so it always makes me late, I never do it on purpose. Akashi's grip on his cup tightens along with a feeling in his chest, he felt horrible. I'm really sorry. I'm just really sorry. It's okay. Being sad about it doesn't change anything, she'd hate that, if she knew I was still getting depressed about it. Does it ever make you feel lonely? Akashi blurts out the question before he can stop himself. It seems to catch Bakuto off guard too. I guess it does. Sorry, that was a stupid thing to ask. Bakuto's eyebrows furrow. What about you? Even though you have a boyfriend and a bunch of friends, are you lonely? Akashi feels himself start to shut down, why did he ask such an invasive question in the first place? I should really get home, I'm tired. Bakuto stretches, seeming to return to his normal sunny self. And I don't wanna keep you any longer so. Where do you live? I'm probably gonna stay with Kenma for a bit so. Bakuto nods. Yeah, I know where that is. When Akashi reaches Kenma's apartment, Kenma isn't home. He'd probably know that if he had bothered to call ahead. Akashi walks over to the bathroom and suddenly finds himself bursting into tears. He had been doing that a lot recently. He wasn't sure if it was because of what Bakuto had told him, his boyfriend embarrassing him at work, or an ungodly mix of the two. Fuck. In the big cake, I could feed it to a Bridezilla Grupchet. What are you guys doing tomorrow night? You wanna hang out? You never wanna hang out. I just asked what you're doing. It's my anniversary. Oh, what are y'all doing? Dinner. Then I slip into something more comfortable. And we rewatch all the Twilight movies, skipping New Moon, obviously. I know Iwazumi is sick of those fucking movies. We rewatch it every year and he loves it. Has he said that? Not out loud, but I know he's thinking it. How long have you all been dating again? 5 years. Jesus Christ, imagine dating someone for that long. Oikawa screenshotted the chat. Go message Sakusa real quick. Keyboard smash. Please, you're so annoying. On my way to ruin a relationship. I was joking, please, he'll get so sad if you send him that. Will he really? Yes. The other day he was talking about getting married. What? That's what I said. I was like, we're still in college, and was like, after we graduate, I mean. Do you want to? That's a lot of commitment. Don't remind me. So you don't want to? I'm not worried for myself, I'm worried for him, Imeo. I'm nervous he'll get sick of me. If he hasn't at this point, I think you're okay. OMG, who's your best man? It's me, right? If I haven't buried you by then. Well, when I picture my future, Sakusa's always in it, so. Yeah, same with Daichi, getting married is just sort of the next step, isn't it? I want Iwa to propose to me after a 5-course dinner by a body of water, and there's a string quartet playing video games by Lana Del Rey, and we're surrounded by roses, and also we're in Paris. That's so oddly specific. How is he gonna figure it out? Because I told him. What about you at Kenma? Kenma is online. I think I'll probably be the one to ask because Kuro is an idiot. And I think I would just ask him randomly out of nowhere when I felt like it wouldn't be a big thing. Fair. And you, Akashi? I don't see myself getting married ever. Well, your boyfriend is a tool, so I can't blame you. I mean, like to anyone. Can't see myself getting married at all. Well, it's not for everyone. Yeah, I guess. Do you guys ever feel lonely, even though you have boyfriends and stuff? Not really. No. Nope. No. Do you? Not really. Where's that question come from? Nowhere, I was just wondering. I gotta go, GN. Akashi is offline. Akashi stared up at the ceiling of Kenma's guest bedroom, muttering under his breath. I guess it's just us then.
But I